All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the stream. My name is System, and we're getting started earlier than normal today, because I have some things to do. So I wanted to get at least a short stream out today before errands do their erranding. This is the Minions run. We are for anybody that hasn't seen it, here's the top down. Everything is good. We're in UXV. We are making Stargate pieces. But that is in that's in like giant quotes. We're not anywhere close to making the Stargate, even though we're making Stargate pieces here and there. I'll show you how. Hey, what up, Mr. X? What up? What up? Yep. So here, I'll show you really quick. So this is where we're at right now, and I was gonna try to print this today, but this requires 12 plates. And this is what I mean, like we're in UXV, we're making Stargate pieces, but we're nowhere close. You have to make 12 plates for this one piece right here, and we need 4 of these. The way our infrastructure is currently designed, I can order a maximum of 2 Stargate plates at a time before we run out of benzene and nitric acid and all sorts of ridiculous low-level things that I thought were already fixed. Like I have been destroying bottlenecks and gates. But yeah, when it comes to actually like building Stargate pieces, we're not even close. So hey, yeah, this guy that goes live once in a while, like maybe like once a month, um yeah, we're in UXV in the Minions run, Xe, if you haven't seen in a while. Yeah, only being able to request 2 with more infra upgrades. You can request a nice batch of 60 plates. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna start doing, and that's why I called this stream Preflight checklist, because I feel like there's some more things that need to get checked off of the list before the quote unquote flight. I was gonna call it a pre-gate checklist, but honestly, like I had just said, like we are so far away from actually getting a gate that I felt that it was a little uh presumptuous perhaps to call this a pre-gate checklist. All else because I pre-crafted some sub ingredients in full. Okay, yeah, I wanted to get to that. Okay. That is an important thing to say. So one of the things that I've been doing lately is on the wiki it says you need 2,552 of these guys to beat the game, and so I've been pre-crafting the batches of super dense. Have you had time to check my stream? Yeah, you know what? Actually, I was gonna mention, I've actually, when I'm on in the middle of the night local time, um, you're the only streamer on, so sometimes I'll put you on in the background if I'm doing other things. So yeah, I have seen your stream, and I really like the building style that you've got going for your current season. I really like that. But to be fair, I haven't watched a whole lot, or not a whole lot in one sitting, but I have tuned in a lot. I have a really bad habit of staying up until like 4 or 5 a.m. local time, and um, my neighbors probably probably hate me. Yeah, I don't. That's the thing. Like, I'll throw you on when I'm listening in the background while I'm doing other things. Uh, because again, I like walking by and checking out what you're doing and with whatever you happen to be fiddling with it at that time. I think the last time I tuned in, it might have been yesterday actually. You were fiddling with some turbines, and I was actually gonna crack a joke. Uh, I don't know. It was gonna be some sort of corny joke, but um, yeah. So, all right. So yeah, all right. Let me go through this really quick. So this was the baby AAL array that I made when our 8 that Sophie made was too few. Um, this is called Behemoth. This is still only half built because I'm not using it right now. Um, I'm actually gonna ask the other minions if we can tear down the meteor setup now, because it was nice to have the meteor setup uh up the whole time, in case of emergencies. We could summon a meteor for some rare exotic ingredient, but I think this can go away, and that would also help my frame rate around this area, because certainly my AAL collection does not help the frame rate. And I was and believe it or not, I was gonna spam a whole bunch more machines, but HJM actually came through and upgraded a lot of the energy hatches from UMV64 to UXV256. So I'm gonna do the same thing. And actually, believe it or not, you guys, I'm going to big brain it. So I'm going to uh tonight sometime, I'm going to pull up the matter manipulator uh tutorial walkthrough guide thing, and I'm going to use that to replace all of the UMV64s in this area with the UXV 256. That is huge on my part, because I am a caveman and I would do it all by hand, but no, not this time. um this was this is the knack line, like Naquata line version 1.0. Um this can get torn down. Again, matter manipulator has a geometry mode. um I'm going to fully learn that finally. I have used it, but every time I try to use it without having the tutorial up, it doesn't work. So I'm just I my brain has no wrinkles. I just need you guys to understand. Uh, these autoclaves in this little bundle right here was an idea that I had for passive background raw crystal chips, but it doesn't even matter at this point in time. Just throw more power at it and do it live. So this little autoclave section is going away. All of Waterline is actually working today. Yeah, banner day. Like all eight stages are properly working for the first time. um um Beamline needs an upgrade, and I don't know what to do about that, because um I kind of like the discount that you get using the masks. You get way more like chips per wafer using the using the beamline. But there are certain things that are in beamline that are not fast enough for end game, and I've already moved a few things over to the new laser array. But yeah, I'm gonna have to move a few more things, because like I'm really I'm interested to see what 2.9 brings with the Large Hadron Collider. Use beamline to gate. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that we'll keep things in Beamline, but there is definitely some things that I've moved back over to lasers already, and um I'm either ready to eat the cost on the increased number of low tier wafers that we'd have to use, or um and what I need to do for some of these is here, let's see. Uh yeah, like you can see right here, all of our wafers are still encoded with Americium wafers. I could do photonics. Um like maybe not the prepared wafer, but definitely the enhanced wafer. Yeah, see, I need to upgrade all of the patterns and also increase the energy. Yeah. Yeah, I have some I have some upgrading. Yeah. Like the checklist is long, my friend. Yeah, that's the reason why I haven't moved it over because believe it or not, we ran out of glowstone a couple times. Um uh we ran out of glowstone, so I had to fix. Let's see. Let me see if I can get my bearings without looking at the map. Yeah, over here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Believe it or not, we're still using our EECs over here. Uh, this is where we get our glowstone. This is the glowstone supply. Yeah, I just did a dedicated black hole for the super dense magnetos. Well, that you laugh, but I feel like I should have like 10 EECs on glowstone because when we use it, we're using like 5 million of the quadruple compressed, or you know what I'm talking about. Like it goes through so much glowstone in an instant. Like it doesn't matter how much we stockpile, it vanishes as soon as we start using it. So yeah, I might actually put down more EECs in UXV. We're making more EECs. Oh, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I might just do that. Another thing that we need to think about is cutting. So when everything else is moving properly, cutting is still a giant bottleneck, even though we've got, I think this is 560 machines or something like that. Um, yeah, I don't know what to do about cutting. I don't know if I'm going to double this again, but yeah, either that or we need to get under here and figure out how to they're wall shared in a certain way. I think it's so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh no, it's more like 300, 200. So it would be 36 times 6. So 200. Yeah. Felt like 500 going through this by hand. I don't know what to do about this, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, I did exaggerate a little bit. Anyway, I don't want to make 1,000 of these. I really don't. I don't want 1,000 cutting machines because man, it is laggy as fuck over here when these things are running. But I'm gonna have to. And again, yeah, X, you understand what I'm talking about. Like if you don't have 1,000 cutting machines, you're waiting a while. I also want to try to do if I redo this at all. I've been thinking about trying the priority rotation. Um like splitting the tasks up separately into these, and then giving each one a different color, and then it's hard to describe because I don't exactly understand why it works, but I was watching a guy named Notable Gunner, and what he was doing was, he had he had his normal patterns like this, um, and then he would have a set of 16 machines. Like if he had 16 if he had 16 input buffers, he had 16 machines. He would do a rotation where each proxy would have one machine where it was the highest priority color. Um, I guess I should probably explain that really quickly, because again, I'm not good at explaining this idea, but you can color code inputs now, and the priority goes in the order of the color of the bus. So anything that has, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he was doing, and so I want to try to do something like that with the cutting machines. But I guess I should finish explaining this part. If you want something to always have the highest priority on a machine, you color it black, and then red, then green, then brown, so on and so forth. And then of course anything that's colored down here like magenta, orange, white is going to have the least priority. So if you have something, if you have a group of machines where you rotate through the color priority, that means that in every bank of machines, every recipe is going to have at least one recipe that will prioritize every single craft. I hope I said that all correctly, because it's really a big brain kind of idea, even though it's yes. Yes, exactly. So I want to try to do, I don't know if I want to do the color priority or like the rotational priority, but I want to try to come up with something for uh if I end up having to redo the cutting machines any further than I have right now. So I know that was a very convoluted way of describing that idea, but again, that came from somebody named Notable Gunner, who himself is either gating right now or like within a breath. My phone is going off. Give me 1 second. I will be right back. It's gonna annoy the piss out of me. Sorry, that was my emergency. In case you take an afternoon nap, wake up, dum dum, and go to work. All right. All right. So yes. Um. So since I explained that whole idea, I also want to make mention that I want to do something similar for DTPFs. Now, I know that on this run, HJM's stack of DTPFs has been kind of a meme in and of itself. Um, and I tend to laugh at it. It's pretty funny. It does crack me up a good amount. But two things. Most of these machines are dedicated crafts. Like you could probably go over here and I could pick a single machine. Like here, let's see. This one is doing cosmic neutronium. and cosmic neutronium only. But it doesn't do neutronium constantly enough to do convergence. So convergence is a thing where DTPF will use up to 50% less catalyst, which doesn't really matter at this stage of the game, but saving a little bit of catalyst here and there when we were running out constantly could be very useful. So I am thinking about rebuilding all of this, like this entire hunk of DTPFs, and doing the color bus rotation on each of those, so that all of them can do every recipe, but each one of them has a recipe that they will prioritize over any other. Whew. That's going to be a huge job, but I feel like I have to do it because there are so many things over here that really need some help, that need a boost. Like, yeah, Shirban. If Shirban runs constantly, it should probably get convergence. You know what I mean? Like we should probably have it set up so that there's like there's like a, I forget exactly what it's called, but there's a low tier recipe that everybody runs in the DTPF just to keep it running. Just like the idle craft. Yeah. Thank you. I knew it, but like it slipped off my brain. Very very smooth brain. So yeah, I have all of them idling on the Infinity Craft until something comes through. But yeah, like I had mentioned just a minute ago, if we've got 20 DTPFs and only one of them is making sixth phased copper, then the one that's up here making sixth phased copper is going to be running for literal lifetimes. Where am I? Yeah, right here. So yeah, I tried to print off a whole bunch of Stargate plates, and that was going to require like 2 billion sixth phased copper. So this is going to be going for a while, but this is also the one that we're making other, this makes other things: base LUV, base CPM, base UV. This is making the bedrockium. This is making the gigachad token. Yeah, Evangelo. Yeah, we are in UXV. We are printing Stargate pieces with an asterisk. We are nowhere close to getting a Stargate. I'm just printing some pieces. So yeah, my gigachad tokens are going to be locked behind 2 billion sixth phased copper, even though I wisely decided to cancel I canceled the plate craft, but still I have to clean this machine out now or just let it run. So I'm actually planning on printing out enough pieces to rebuild all of these DTPFs without tearing the originals down, and then I'm going to verify that my setup works, and then I'm going to get rid of this, and HJM is going to cry. But yeah, so Evangel, here you go. Yeah, this is where we're at. We are doing things. So yeah, like I said, I'm making Stargate pieces. Like I built this yesterday. I built one. I think you need 38, I think 36 of these to gate. I made one. So we're nowhere close. Nowhere close at all. Yeah. Well, we um The minions run is technically it's 3 of us. Let's show this really quick because Sophie does play. She's been busy. She hasn't been on here, but she's a regular in Potatoes streams. I think she's actually a moderator in his streams. So speaking of, yeah, the Minions run is actually Random Potatoes community run. It's been going for a very long time. How many AAs? So let's see. Yeah, this is Potatoes community server. One of the official community server. There's also an unofficial community server doing the Rats run. I'm also on that one. We'll talk about that later. Nope. I believe it or not, I haven't been on that one for many months. And because John doesn't want any spoilers, John isn't watching these current streams that I'm like past UHV. Like he hasn't really been watching the streams since then because he doesn't want to be spoiled. So I actually need to ping him and reach out to him and talk to him about that the Dwarven Stronghold run because that one was fun. I enjoy writing the lore and doing decoration and stuff like that. Might revive that for 2.9. We'll see. We will see. I'm looking forward to playing 2.9, which is kind of the reason why I'm trying to get minions done a little bit quicker than 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 the pace that we were on. Especially since Sophie's taking a break. HJM is going to be gone now for I think he said 3 weeks. Yeah, we are. Yeah. Yeah, here. HJM just didn't take out the other one. Yeah, we are using the big boys. And you asked how many AAs, so I wanted to check that myself because let's see, this is 0 on White Dwarf. We're using 4 on Stellar Plasma. I believe this was 15. Yeah, 15 on Universium and 2 on Black Dwarf. Yeah, no worries. I think we're good to. I think if I remember correctly, after 15, the next tier up is 26. So I think we're good to put 26 in here. HJM also wanted to take Stellar Plasma from 4 to 6. Let's see. Let's just look that up again. Stellar. Yeah, Stellar Plasma last yesterday was at 3 billion and now it's at 2.5. So, probably should actually hold on a minute. Yeah, we're getting about like 15 or 16 million a day, something like that. 20 million. But I'm quibbling between 15 and 20 million a day. That's basically nothing. Yeah, exactly. You need 1 billion and change to get a Stargate. So the old joke, the difference between 1 million and 1 billion is approximately 1 billion. We need to increase our production for sure. Which means we need to get more AAs in the Twilight EOH. So let's see if we have any waiting. We do have the 2. Okay, all right. Let's do this. Let's update the Twilight Forest. I'm gonna have to pull up the calculator. Give me 1 second. Apologies, everybody. Twilight Forest. Oh, I need to check. Is this? It is. Yeah, if you can see, the white dwarf EOH is still 997. I need to replace these. I just haven't gotten around to it. This is 999. Yeah. Okay. All right. And there's 4 in it currently. And we're moving to 6. So stellar plasma is 1.5 million and change. So I'm not good at this, so bear with me as I switch this over. I'm actually let that iteration run. I won't be that long. So you take the quantum storage cell with this in here, go to restriction, and you replace this with the number in the calculator. 1587200. Okay, and then shift click out just to avoid any complications. All right, and then shut you down. Hey, Mr. Cat, what's up, my dude? Yep, we're on Minions. We're in UXV. Like I've been saying, I've been printing Stargate pieces, but like in single digit numbers of pieces. I did make this the other day. Day before yesterday. So yeah, we're getting there. Right now, I'm getting ready to upgrade this, and because I'm scared to hot swap. I'm scared to hot swap these things. I think you can, but I'm scared to do it. So, I think that should work. Yeah, we're getting close to UXV now on rats as well. Yeah, see, you guys are flying too. I really wanted to go over there. I've just been flying over here. Currently the Minions run is actually Minion run. Sophie is AFK. Away from Minions perhaps. And HJM just left for a 3-week, I don't know if it's a holiday or a work trip or something, but he's going to be gone for a little while. So honestly, there's a good chance I might come and play on Rats for real. I might come over here, start a few Stargate pieces, and then just go over to Rats and have some fun, because if I'm over here all by myself, certain things will be on hold. Certain things will be on hold unless I completely rebuild HJM's wall of DTPFs, like I have just mentioned that I wanted to do just a few minutes ago. I don't know if I want to go through that whole explanation again, but yeah, I want to do kind of like a priority rotation so that each DTPF does every recipe, but also has a recipe that is kind of like its main focus. So yeah, I am not that good at GTNH, so building out something like that is a little bit out of my wheelhouse. Yeah, where you guys use the different hatches for priority. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's kind of what I want to do. Yeah, see, yes, that's the kind of thing that I want to do. Hey, 3 stream streak. Nice. I haven't been streaming a lot lately, but with any luck, I'm actually going to I'm here in the States, so we don't get a whole lot of our jobs are kind of ass, so we don't get a whole lot of vacation time. But I do get 2 weeks this year, and I'm going to see if I can take a week in like early June, so that way I could stream a few times that week. It won't be a streamathon. It'll be a streamathin. But I might stream a few times in a row the week that I take vacation. There's just a bunch of other things that I've been wanting to do, but yeah, hopefully June vacation for a baby streamathon and also everything else. The only time we mess that up is when the level maintainer for the catalyst just decides not to work. When you run out of catalyst because you run out of one plasma because for whatever reason HJM has all of our plasmas running through the Godforge, and we have one module on the Godforge making plasma for the entire base all at once. Rah! In theory, it should be in theory, it should be fast enough. In practice, it is ass. Yeah, okay, yeah, fine, yeah, exactly. That's what I thought we were going to be doing. You can also give one a lot more power. Yeah, you know what? Let's actually go out there. We probably by now the last two upgrades for the Godforge might be ready. We have we've got our 3 rings. Name and shame, HJM printed out all the stuff for the central ring, but he didn't hold these central graviton blocks long enough to get the quest. So I I printed out a whole nother set of central gravitons just to get the quest. Giant waste of materials. You need like 36 for a stargate, but I printed off a whole new set of 400. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, they will get used. Yeah. Heliothermal plasma fabricator. Let's see if I can figure out why why all of these things are so slow. You're going down here to, I'm assuming, this hardware. Yeah, okay. Is this main? Kind of looks like main. Yeah, okay, yeah. If I read. Alright, what do we got? Oh, I believe this is the stuff for is this quark gluon? This might be quark gluon. Hold on a minute. So I think that's what the problem is. So he's got multiple plasma fabs, but like one is dedicated to quark gluon, one is dedicated to the mag matter, and like there is only one that's feeding plasma back to the base to make catalysts. So I have had to make I've made many billions of catalysts crafting things by hand because of the way that this stuff is set up, and I'm just like, ugh, I'm over it. So it's this the cyan The cyan ones are the ones that are making the base. Okay. So this is what needs to be upgraded. Maybe he was waiting for plasma fab. Okay, so here's the other problem that I'm going to have is that he wanted to have things done in a certain way, like I don't know if he was going lengthwise or ringwise, but he wanted to have like all of the exoticizers in one section, and all the plasma gens in one section, and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, I'm a goblin. I'll just throw anything anywhere. Like I see two blanks right here. That's two plasma gens in my opinion. But um I probably will need to shoot HJM a message and ask him if I'm going to add more plasma. Does he have a preferential spot? Yeah, I love the way the gorge looks. I do not like the way the gorge works. Uh yeah, we need more plasma, or we need more modules working on more different recipes at the same time. It might be fast enough overall. You get a lot more plasma with more AA and DDEOH. Oh, you know what? That's a good call. Um, that's actually a really good call. The other thing I want to show off while we're out here is this is also HJM's build. He is doing the antimatter. We've got eight of the sassy boys running, and one slam. And if I remember right, the 8 sasses are still running Shiraban, and I think there's also a slam upgrade that you could do that we haven't done yet. Anyway, this is supposed to be the end game base, but like Sophie did a really good job building a lot of these set pieces, and I really like the way this stuff looks, but I can't replicate this. Like I just don't have the time in the day to be able to replicate this and also do progress in tech. So I was kind of waiting for her to build out all of the different sections um to her satisfaction before I moved anything over here. And she's been busy with university, and also with Potato Streamathon that's in like day 60 or something like that. Um something crazy. Um uh so like with all of the other things, yeah, dude, yeah, is it 124? I have not kept track of that timer. I honestly, and again, I'll come on if I'm up at 5 a.m. I'll catch the beginning of Potatoes stream, and generally speaking, I'll log on briefly before work sometimes at like 1 p.m., 2 p.m., and he'll be like at the tail end of his stream day at that point in time. So yeah, I should have known those numbers, but yeah, I don't pay attention. I don't pay attention to nothing, which is why I'm probably going to put a plasma here anyway. Piss HJM off. I'm going to get him to march all the way home from vacation just to tear this down. Have you heard the Timer Up song? No, okay, so I know that the Timer Up song existed. I saw the lyrics. I think maybe Tataki or somebody posted the lyrics in chat one day. Um, I haven't heard the song itself. I'll have to check that out. So yeah. So anyway, oh yeah, this is HJM's build as well. Cowls, they look very nice. They are very clean, very neat looking, very nice and detailed and built in, and not doing anything. These are not doing anything. So cowls are on my to-do list, but we'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. This is NAC 6. Naquata Fuel Mark 6 is a necessary component for antimatter. I don't remember exactly how that all fits together, but NAC 6 is right here, which I guess you could call this the backup power supply, but I don't think we're going to be burning NAC 6 for power ever again. We've got plenty of antimatter as you guys saw, as I showed off just a minute ago. You can see that I still got the power goggles in the bottom corner. We're at 8.3 times 10 to the 21 EU, which that's a record for me. I'm kind of waiting. I'm waiting with bated breath to see it tick over to 1 to the 22. Because I like round numbers, and that would be a round number record. Yeah, I'll definitely check out the song after the stream. All right, so out here, is there anything truly new? Let's go to the south. So you see, they're trying to build nice things. Sophie, more than anybody, is trying to build nice things, and I also enjoy nice things. But me, the player system, am a goblin. I will throw anything anywhere. So like look at this. We we needed more ABSs, and I just couldn't be bothered to make it nice like this. So I made this this block right here that I like so much that I might actually replicate this block of mega ABSs a couple times. There's a certain handful of things here at Endgame that still need to go through the mega. I believe that we're finally getting Quantum to go through DTPFs, but Quantums did originally go through the mega alloys. I think Titan Steel, and there's like one or two other things that absolutely have to go through the mega alloy. And it's a huge bottleneck when that happens, because those things all get made all at the same time, and of course, these don't have like a priority rotation type thing going on. So we are constantly in crafting jail in the mega alloy blast smelters, even in UXV, believe it or not. We could use some more mixers. This was HJM's rebuild to get the mixers up to this state. I might make there's room for a third row right here. Yeah, Quantum is a DTPF thing, but as far as I know, we've only got one DTPF that is assigned to make Quantum. But when we need Quantum in an amount that really we could probably stand to put all 20 DTPFs to work to make that amount of Quantum as fast as we need it. I really, really want to think about working that priority idea. I just let me go back over here really quick. What hatch are these using? Because these can use wireless hatches, if I can remember right, and this is just a 2 billion hatch. Well, that's like UXV 64, right? Really? UXV 4096. Is that right? No, that's one extra comma. Yeah. I would more focus on getting them to do convergence before upgrading power. Okay, yes. So, but that's the thing. That's what I'm thinking about the future stack that I'm going to build. Like, I'm not going to use LSCs and laser power. I was just trying to figure out, maybe I print off 20 of the wireless energy hatch that I'm going to use in the new setup. I also need to start printing all of these pieces. Ooh, you know what? Hold on a minute. Why don't I start printing off like 20 DTPFs worth of injection casings and stuff like that? Oh yes. All right. All right. Let's get a list. Let's have a list. Okay. Now, we have 3,000 of these. You need 1,200 per 1266 per, so it'd be 12,000, 25,000. So let's make 22,000 of these. So I know I've done a lot of complaining about the way that our hardware sits, and it's only because I want to go faster. But let me tell you, this is the peak part of the game where like most of the problems with applied energistics are dealt with. Most processing is end game end game tier, if not end game ready. A lot of the ancient tech is torn down, and I can do something like, I'm just going to order 20 DTPFs worth of blocks, and I hit print, and the base prints them, and it feels really good. Sometimes I will just sit here and watch these tick off because for one, to see where the new bottlenecks are. As you can see, there's a specific bottleneck in crafting these things. Um, but but yeah, it's just nice. Like, you know, I said this when we got cribs. For anybody that's in like lower tiers of the game, like just get crafting input buffers. The game is so much better. You know, just the whole game up to crafting buffers is a struggle. You just got to get through it. It's fine. Get crafting buffers. The game starts. Uh, Now here in UXV, when you can just click print on a giant purchase like this is fun. It is really fun. It's nice to be able to just boop and then print off something. I'll like I had mentioned to Exy a little bit ago. I will come on here. I'll print 10,000 of a block and I'll walk away. 15 minutes later, it's done. And like the whole base just comes to life, and I can't start anything else. We are kind of the base as it exists is kind of locked into a mode where we can do one giant craft at a time. And if we try to do too many giant crafts at a time, they kind of bind each other up because we haven't done that priority rotation idea across the base. So like when all the lasers fire up, all the lasers are doing one recipe. When all of the extruders fire up, all of the extruders are doing one recipe. Like same with the precise presses, same with basically everything else. I really I really want to change that so that the processing flow is much cleaner and allows more things to be done at the same time. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about when I'm designing the final end game setups. And also I've been thinking about this for the future, you know, when I restart in 2.9 moving forward. Yeah, exactly, Evangel. And actually, you might know who I'm talking about. I learned that from Notable Gunner. He showed me his laser array where he did the priority rotation on his laser array, and I'm like, oh shit, that's awesome. That's amazing. So yeah, I've been thinking about that setup the entire time since that day, and I think I'm finally gonna do it with these DTPFs. I think the DTPFs are finally gonna get we're going to priority rotate away from HJM's Wall of Modern Art. um I've just been doing my LP only run in HC. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, that's another thing that I've kind of been wanting to do. I've been wanting to do more hardcore runs because I used to love doing that. I'll have to scrap the old one. I think I was on season 4 of my hardcore playthroughs. Um I lost my save. I found my save. I upgraded it to a daily, lost it again, and then remembered that it was on a daily like 6 months later, tried to upgrade it to a main uh uh to the main branch and bricked the world. So my Anthill Mansion hardcore run is officially over. It was officially over a year ago, but anyway. Um I'm going to do a new hardcore run when 2.9 drops. Um I'm assuming, so that is also assuming that Minions is completely done, which I we're planning on doing Questmaster here as well. So uh like I've actually got Questmaster finished all the way through the UMV tab. And there is quite a few more green check marks up and down the quest page. We don't have that much to go for Questmaster here. Like the big ones are I need to make marshmallows. This is gonna be I you know, it's just annoying, honestly. It's not hard, it's just annoying. I need Selenium and Live Root. Um hold on. I got the thing. No, first of all, nobody. That the real answer is nobody. But the this is the enclosure I built to do forestry trees. So nothing special, but I did make a nice uh butterfly box for when I start doing trees. And for reference, that is far north of the main base. Ah, Chemcraft, hello. Let's give you a shout out. Yep, this is welcome in, guys. This is the Minions run with we are in it's Greg Tech New Horizons in the final tier UXV. So we're not close to finishing, but we are in the final tier. What did you guys get up to? I'm trying to remember if I've seen you before. I've watched a lot of I've watched 5 minutes of thousands of streamers, I swear. So like your name sounds familiar, but I'm having trouble placing. I've watched so much Twitch 5 minutes at a time. TFG, oh my god. Look, all right, so I've been stuck on GTNH for a couple years now, especially going through these big runs. Like this is the Minions run. Um, I've really wanted to play TFG, and actually you might know them. Cat's Cozy Games. Cat and Vin had a TFG community server that they booted up like a month or two ago, and oh my god, like I about moved heaven and earth to see if I could beg my way onto that onto that playthrough, um uh because I love terra firma. Like, I've told this story before. I was playing Greg Tech New Horizons in 1.7. I was playing terra firma in 1.7. Like, I love, 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 love terra firma. It's cool that it's getting a revival. And I haven't really paid too much attention to the whole saga behind it finally getting its updates. But terra firma Greg, it looks so damn cool. And um in 2.9, that I might actually if I get bored of a 2.9 run, I might start a TFG run sometime later this year. But yeah, we are in UXV here in Minions. This is the final stretch. Yeah. Yeah, see, like TFG is doing real work, because for a while terra firma, like terra firma has always been kind of a niche thing, but it kind of it started to dwindle a little bit. Like I played techno firmacraft, I played tech node firmacraft, I'm trying to remember the specific names of some of the other packs, but yeah, I've played a whole bunch of different iterations of terra firma back in the day. um I still have nightmares of, I forget which pack it was, but my dirt hovel getting ripped apart by a tornado. All right, yep. All right. Yeah. Well, thanks for the raid. And you know what? I'm gonna come and check your channel out as well, because again, I can't stress this enough. I love Terra Firma Greg. It is one of my favorite things ever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love Greg Tech. I love Terra Firma Craft. You would think that TFG would be the only thing that I could think about, and you would be correct. But I'm going to finish these GTNH runs first. uh, so yeah, so for anybody that hasn't seen, this is a group run. This was a wall of DTPFs built by our buddy HJM. Do both at the same time. Yes, but I don't know if I could dedicate that amount of time, because as Mr. Cat, if he's still in, could attest to, I'm also in the Rats run, at least in theory. I haven't been over there more than like an hour at a time in a month, because I've been so busy over here making UXV finalization type things. Where if I had real extra time like that, I would be spending hours on the Rats run building fun things, and getting up to their speed, and seeing how they do things, and also and ripping off all of their ideas, little things, but things that matter. Believe it or not, you're gonna laugh at this cat. I ripped our automation for tier 6 water wasn't working, so I basically used the same exact thing you guys are doing. So, okay, Minions Run. This is Random Potatoes community server. I'll even show really quick. It's been going for a while. It's been going for 400 something days. We started off with 20 people. You could see some like Blade Master was on here for a cup of coffee. Let's see. I Horsham is the one that built our meteors. Shadow of Intent. His real name was oh shoot. Seti is Namzi. You've probably seen Namzi in chats. Quasar was Nuke. Of course, Random Potato is Random Potato. Nathan was huge in the early game, but yeah, it's basically just been me, HJM, and Sophie for the end of since like LUV. So yeah, a run of 20 dwindled to 3, now dwindled to 1 because Sophie's away from away from the run. I'm trying to figure out how to say that properly. And HJM is on vacation. Yeah, well, yes, but we've all taken our breaks, and also actually, hold on. See, I'm an expert. I'm an expert player, you guys. I know how to take my breaks while I'm in the game. See, AFK champion of the earth. Nobody can touch my AFK. Percentage of time AFK. Nobody's got anything on my AFK ability. If I played on rats more often, I would also be AFK King over there as well. I might actually already be AFK King over there. Who knows? Yeah. Rats Run is really awesome, and actually, I'm off work tomorrow, Cat. I might actually stream again, and I might do a Rats Run stream because I want to show off all the cool stuff that you guys have got going. Yeah. Hey, look, I was just meat loading the steam machines. Don't blame me. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be really cool. That would be really cool, Cat. Because again, I love the Rats Run. You guys are cool as hell. In fact, I like some of the structures that you guys have built more than what we've got built over here, but only because what we did on Minions was such a focused like a singular style. I like having a server that's got a bunch of different styles of things. No matter how cool this looks, like I like Sophie's style, but no matter how cool it looks, if it's all the same everywhere all the time, it's just neat to see a different style. And there's so much style on the Rats Run server that it's worth showing off. I really like it. Yeah, it definitely samples heavily from Samsa's style. She wanted a clean modern look that also had like almost like livable features. So think like the bushes, the water, the you know thing things that reminded you of like living things. I don't know how to describe that better. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the clean room is over here. It's actually I don't know if it's still doing its job, but this is where we were doing the biolab stuff. We don't have to do biolab stuff anymore. We've got QFTs, which believe it or not, let's go down here. Yeah, this is making a mutated living solder, the black hole, the pseudo stable black hole containment devices. Those make the super dense plates. Let's see. These are fluid extractors. We've got 48 of them now. This is this guy right here is a PCB factory. We've got 2 of them, tier 3. Yeah, those are interesting. These are called Cole's component assembly lines. We've got 8 4 pairs, and they are fully upgraded. We've got UXV component casings on all 4 pairs. Very nice. Newtonium compressor, which actually I don't know if this even gets used anymore, but it looks cool. Definitely looks like a cage that you should put a supervillain in. These are the QFTs, the quantum force transformer. Yep. Fancy modifiers. This is the Nanoforge. This is the tier 4. The tier 4 Nanoforge is an amazing looking structure. All right, so I'm going to go over to the other base and show you the coolest of the cool. So I know I mentioned that Sophie has kind of been away from the run for a little while now. Well, she was building our end game base, and she was building nice things, and so you can kind of see a space elevator right here. Let's see, where are you? Space elevator. She built this really nice structure around the space elevator with microblocks and all of the different pieces that we've got available to us in GTNH. And this looks so cool. But hands down, by far, her best creation goes around the coolest looking multi in the game. This is the Forge of the Gods, also known as the God Forge, also known as the Gorge. So, this is all 3 rings of the Gorge. This looks so cool with all of the like the sloping micro blocking that she built up around the actual structure of the God Forge. This looks so cool. Which again, I'm kind of sad that she is so busy, because this is the kind of stuff that she does when she's bored. So yeah, that's all I can really say. Like this is really neat, and unfortunately, the way, yeah, she built it in creative, and then she used the matter manipulator to copy it over here, I believe. But yeah, absolutely insane work. And look, like she even did it so the cutouts have the rings going through them. It's just absolutely fantastic. And it's not quite perfect. Yeah, the center ring is a little tiny bit off, but you know what? Fantastic work. I love this so much. Have you seen how our gorge currently looks? No. I the last time I went over there, I believe it only had the 1 ring. Yeah, these are the acronym is SSASS. These make antimatter. I don't remember what the acronym stands for, but yeah, this is This is antimatter. And GTNH people know how painful this is, but non GTNH people, just think about it like this: the semi-stable antimatter stabilization sequencer has a total amount of 15 million millibuckets of contained antimatter that has to be split evenly between 16 different hatches. And if it isn't split equally between the 16 different hatches, an amount of antimatter equivalent to the difference between that hatch and the lowest hatch gets destroyed. If you manage to get this balanced properly, you can build up and get insane amounts of power from generating antimatter. Uh, if you don't set it up properly, it eats itself in a tick, and it's gone. uh, Fun times. Let's see. Arthur has started to decorate it. Oh, nice. You know, the one thing I will mention, Kat, is the last time that I was over on Rats. The last time I was over on Rats and I actually did something useful, I actually was filling in some of the ground fill around the cutout of the gorge, so that the like the water features around the cutout were restored to their normal look. Uh, just a little bit like tedious landscaping, terraforming type things, but um I like that. Um that's another reason why I like Terra Firma Greg, for any of those guys still in here. I love the small scale stuff. I loved like terraforming and making small places look feel cozy, and um um yeah, speaking of terraforming, I love I love my stacks of ingots that block out the sun. I love like firing clay jars. Like it's so fun. Like terra firma is so fun. It really is. Like I've been so far out of the loop of terra firma. Like I think I'd probably just go in blind and see what's new, because because yeah, like I mentioned, I've been playing terra firma since it was terra firma, but it's so damn cool. Yeah, it's only up to EV at the moment. Hey, you know what, let's be real. Terra firma Stone Age to Greg Tech EV, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stages. That is a lot of tears. I'm sure people can speed run it at this point, but oh my, Uh, I'm gonna have to take this. Dang it! Hold on a second. Hold on, Yep, sorry about that. This should have been a text. The phone call. That's what that was. Yeah, but you could spend ages fannying around making and doing everything early on, plus making buildings. Yeah, I love. Look, I love it's tedious, and I know some people don't like it, but I absolutely love just going through and making a bunch of stone bricks to make buildings out of. And like, I absolutely love some of the um some of the textures, like gabbro stone bricks are my favorite thing of all time. In fact, Evangel, you had mentioned the Dwarven Stronghold run that John was running. I believe it or not, I actually had a location in there that was going to be called Gabbro Gardens, in a kind of a as a nod to Terra Firma. So yeah, but yeah, first things first. Minions. We're gonna finish Minions. Minions is going to gate, and we also might actually we might Questmaster as well. That's gonna be really neat. It's gonna be fantastic. Let me mention the problem really quickly. The only reason why we might not get a gate is there are some bugged recipes that I'm going to have to figure out. Nope, nope. We are printing Stargate pieces, but we're not anywhere close. I'll show you that in 1 second. But yeah, we are also working on Questmaster. We're not sure if we're going to. So, okay, how about this? So, in order to make this pigmented glass, you have to use botany, and you have to use the botany dyes to make this type of pigmented glass. But when a player makes this glass, it gets NBT data. So it isn't 2126, it's like 2126:78, and it doesn't satisfy the requirements for this for this quest. So if you guys are also doing Questmaster, keep an eye out for the botany quests here. The ceramics is the same way. Like, these get MBT data, and the blocks that you craft by hand don't satisfy um what the quest is asking for. So if you figure out what I'm doing wrong, or if you get a workaround for that, or even if you hear from from one of the admins that says just skip those two, like, let me know, because I was very frustrated. I spent I spent a good quality afternoon trying to get into botany to get these two quests ticked off, and also these. I was gonna do this whole little spot right here, but these two specifically. Well, hurry up! Come on, rats! Hey, I'm gonna come and join the rat race so that you guys do finish before minions. I know I saw HJM say the other day in one chat or another that it's over his dead body if rats beats minions to gate, but that would be that would be so funny. Um I know I'm not helping the situation by being on minions the whole time, but but it would be funny if rats beat. Isn't there a way to craft with machines and send to a task manager or something? So yeah, well there's of course you can always order things through Applied Energistics, but we also have, I think what you're asking about is Matter Manipulator. Matter Manipulator is fantastic. So let's um just to sell GTNH that little tiny bit more. let's copy something with Matter Manip. what do I need? There's a bunch of stuff that I need to copy. So let me find something really quick. I don't know if I have enough lasers to copy this. Yeah, let's just do these guys. All right, so all that is reset. Okay. So I'm in copy mode. I'm going to mark copy. You you can select a block in space, or you could shift click to select a block. That didn't quite work. Then yeah, that's going to be position 1. That'll be position 2. So I have a bounding box. Very nice, very nice. Now mark paste. Nope. Mark paste. Okay. I can verify that it's in the right position. Now, when I paste this in, it will paste in all of the settings. It will paste in the, like, I have crafting proxies here that are linked to this one right here. It will auto link the new proxies and everything. So let's just do this. Brand new machines, fresh out the box. And I just noticed that we're missing a auto taping maintenance hatch here out of nowhere. Yeah, 30 hours ago. That's very weird. Let me fix this really quick, and then I'll get these machines set up. This is very strange. Wait, what? What? All right. Yeah, here's another thing. I'm almost out of auto taping maintenance hatches. Just order 1,000. Just let me have 1,000 of these, please. Just I want a lifetime supply in a finger snap, please. Okay. So, so yeah, I just copied these machines. So these are precise auto assemblers on precise mode. GTNH people know what I'm talking about. For everybody else, it's not that truly important. Just knowing that there is a normal mode and a precise mode is more than enough. And then I'll take my wireless connectors. I don't have any wireless connectors. What? Why did I print off 1,000,000 wireless connectors to not have a stack in my inventory at all times? And then, okay. And then I have the advanced wireless setup kit. You can see it's in queuing mode. So I'll queue up these two. So we'll go down here. Oh, let me make sure I've got, we've got 10 channels available. That's nice. Yeah. And then bind it to this hub. Okay. Yeah. So now my new machines are already in business. Fresh out the box, ready to use. Almost fresh out the box. Yeah, you always have to kind of check them, because like as cool as Matter Manipulator is, like it's not perfect. It doesn't copy everything in the right order sometimes. So you do always have to go through and check your copy just to make sure that everything is still functional. I guess for anybody that's coming in from the TFG, I don't think, do you guys have presses over in TFG? Because I feel like that's way past EV. I'm trying to think. I think you get your first press in GTNH in LUV, I think. Oh, I missed it last time. There is an ad that's coming up. I run ads in a 3-minute block so that people can get up, get a drink, get a snack, stretch, let the dog out, whatever you got to do. You know, you take care of yourself, bio break, whatever, whatever. Um, I am going to. I'm going to faff around for just a minute. Yeah, there's no prass in TFG. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought, but it was worth verifying. Yeah, Prass again. I think that unlocks an LUV, maybe ZPM. It's around there. It's one of those. It's one of those mid tiers. But yeah, the ad's gonna start any moment now. So yeah, let me just actually one thing that I can do is check my yeah, you see, my dimensional injection casings are nearly done. So let's start thinking about uh so 20 times 120, so that'd be 2400 2400 dimensional bridge. And we have 8200. That's fine. And then 2121 times 20, so that'd be 21,000, 42,000. Okay. Oh, and actually, for anybody that doesn't know about this, you can do this. You can drag an item from NEI up to the terminal and get it to check it out immediately. So I have 8200 casings. So let's make what 32,000. All right, yeah, the ad break is on. But yeah, well, this isn't going to take any time at all. I like this. Again, it's such a cool feeling just to click print and watch your base just rip off a giant batch of some like end game block that was impossible a month ago. Not the DTPFs were impossible a month ago, but um, you know, just last night I finished. Just last night I finished one of these. You need something like 36 of these to finish Stargate. I've made one. One took the better part of a day. Yeah, because all of this stuff is sickeningly expensive. I should probably wait until uh I'll wait here until we get back from break, because that way I can actually show off where we're at and what we're really missing. And then maybe after that, I'll have enough materials to start thinking about making these DTPFs. I notice we only have 13. I am making 20. I'm going to do like pairs. So it's going to be like 10 pairs, and each one is going to have one or two recipes that it prioritizes over everything else. So that's the goal, or the idea at least. And then if we do get to that, if we do get that far, I'll decommission HJM's DTPF rubble pile. All right, we're almost there. Ad break ended. Your community is back. All right. Well, let's see. So, I know I mentioned that we are right there at the end of the game. This is the tab end game goals. This is I've got view mode on, but it doesn't really matter. In order to get a Stargate, this is what you need. You need 8 ring blocks plus 7 chevrons plus the base plus a power unit and a controller, 1 extra chevron. I think you have to put it on the face or something like that. And then the iris upgrade. And so like all of this stuff, I've printed most of that already. Again, I've printed 1 of these. We need like somewhere between 30 and 40. I think it's 36. All of these things are extraordinarily expensive. Like the Stargate frame part is extraordinarily expensive. Like 1 of these alone is 147,000 Universium, plus all of these different annoying end game long rods. Like none of these are difficult by themselves, but making a stack of each of these for each one of these frame parts, we're going to be printing frame parts for a month. I swear. Like I'm determined for Minions to get their gate in May, but now since HJM is basically going to be gone until, I think he's going to be gone until like the 2nd of June. We're probably not going to get a May gate. It's probably going to be a June gate here on Minions. Even if I go as fast as I possibly can, even if Sophie comes back in some appreciable capacity. So like I keep saying, Rats has a prime opportunity to blow right past us. And yeah, and I want to get on Rats a little bit more often, or at least I'd like to get my face in the picture when you guys get things going. You can give me an assist. I didn't earn a Stargate over on Rats, but I'll take an assist. You guys have been catching up super fast, for real. But anyway, so all of these things. Let's go through some of the prices of some of these things. Now that you saw the price of this. This is the cheapest of the 3 Stargate parts. This is the middle piece. This is rather expensive, and this is the reason why you need 2,500 of these guys right here. Almost all of them get used in chevrons. The hardest of the 3 Stargate pieces is the plate, in my opinion. So this is the Stargate radiation containment plate. These are sickeningly expensive. Like you can see all of the nanites. Each one requires a stack of the Gallifreyan stabilization field generators, which if you play GTNH, you know how expensive these things are. These things by themselves are sickeningly expensive. You need a stack of these per plate. Okay, per plate. Now that you understand the price of some of these things, here's what a Stargate ring block looks like. That is 21 frame parts, 11 plates, and 3 chevrons, plus a block of mag matter, which is nothing to laugh at. The blocks of mag matter are also going to add up and be expensive at some point. UXV field generators are very expensive. In order to make the Stargate chevron block, this is that. This is the reason why I didn't mind printing a whole new set of these central gravitons, because like Kat mentioned earlier, they are going to get reused, so it's not a big deal. But this is where most of those chevron upgrades get used, is the Stargate chevron block. But remember, as you can see, each of the chevron blocks requires a ring block. Keep that in mind. This is the Stargate base. this is ugly. This is ugly as hell. So you can see this is 8 Stargate Chevron blocks plus a bunch of plates, more central gravitons, more mag matter nanites. The Stargate core crystal might be the nastiest thing on here, believe it or not. So watch this. In order to get the core crystal, you have to do this. This is Stargate crystal slurry. We'll get back to that in a second. But you need to have your Godforge at maximum heat. I think this is maximum heat. It has to be 100,000 plus heat, which the Godforge base heat, I believe, is 12,000 K. 15,000 K. It's low. It's very low. But anyway, yeah, you have to do all this. So Stargate crystal dust, in order to get one dust, is all of these things, which are mildly annoying, including a billion of the grade 8 water. And I don't think I mentioned Waterline yet, but Waterline is the really annoying mid-game processing line that you have to ramp up to infinity at the end of the game. Like, we've got so much water, but we're going to be running low on grade 8. We've got so many grades of water done, but we're going to run out of 8. And actually, I'm not 100% sure that I've got all of the bosons and mesons that we're going to need. Anyway, back to this. Stargate Crystal Slurry. Look at this. This is gross. This is basically all of the hardest stuff at the end of the game, all at once, all in one transcendent plasma mixer, running at what is this, a trillion EU per tick? What? Million, billion, yeah, 1 trillion EU per tick, which if I remember right, that is going to be yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a UXV 4 million amp wireless energy hatch. Yeah, we might use the 16 actually, because I've been trying to build out a where are you? I've been trying to build one of these for the quest, and also for I was actually gonna use one of these for the super dense magnetos. But I decided to just go ahead and cut my losses, make smaller batches, and use this for the super dense magnetos, which that doesn't even really matter. So yeah, so I keep making these giant arrays of machines, and I don't regret any of this. I'm going to have to do some wiring here to get all of these AALs completely finished, but I think the real play here is to upgrade the power before I add any more machines, more than I already have added. Yeah, I think I'm done adding capacity. I'm just going to add speed to this particular array, because it's already getting, it's a little twitchy. Like, you can see that the slideshow is starting to pick up speed, which it would help. It would help the slideshow situation if I could tear down the old meteor setup. I do believe that I can tear down the meteor setup, but all of these are warded blocks. You know, that's so I don't know if I can use I think I could probably use world edit to just delete those blocks out of existence. You know, kind of like, pick two corners and set air. Um, yeah. The logic I have built on rats allows us to not make that type of spam, but we will see. It has started to be a tiny bit unstable, sadly. So yeah. And again, Kat, that's another reason why I want to go over there most likely tomorrow for a stream, like a kind of like a showcase slash tour slash whatever. Um, I want to show off that setup you've got because he's got this really cool setup where, and I don't know if I can explain it quite properly, but there if there is an idle machine, the idle machine will try to help a machine that has a process going by splitting the process. uh I'm sure that that's not 100% correct, but it's to reduce the amount of idle machines at any one time. I think you called it the helper system, but again, you would need real details from Cat, or you would need to see it in person to see what I'm talking about. So yeah, here's another new addition that I don't think I've pointed this out. I made all of these prasses solely for SuperCon. So all of our SuperCon is getting built in these, and these are doing nothing but building SuperCon, which is great. It's fantastic. It's exactly what I want. But you know how I've been talking about doing the priority rotation thing? I really wish that I could have set like this pair prioritizes ZPM, this pair prioritizes LUV, this pair prioritizes UV, this pair prioritizes UHV, and so on and so on, so that when a big order comes through, that there will always be a small amount of everything that has been ordered will all be crafting all at the same time, instead of waiting for the large bulk orders to get done one at a time using every machine all at once. Yeah, actually, believe it or not, we went through a ton of, maybe not like MVHV tier, but I remember making some EV the other day, and we make ZPM regularly. I don't remember what uses it, but we do make those regularly. This was NAC Fuel NAC 5 before HJM moved NAC out to the wait, why? Hold on. Why is my question? I think I'm kind of lost because we were making lower tier supercon for certain crafting components. So I don't know if that answers your question or not, but yeah, I don't remember what the things were, and some of it could have even been for questmaster type things. But yeah, having all of it available to be crafted right now is still a good thing. Bane of my existence. All right. For anybody that doesn't know, quartz fibers are what you use to power subnets in the early game. But we're in the late game, and death to quartz fibers. We're gonna put you on this side. Let's see, it's an anchor, right? Yeah. Actually, this isn't even working anymore. All right, that was a useless thing. But anyway, this is the neutronium energy anchor. This is the kind of the the mid late game uh subnet power supplying um solution. We do have we also have the we also have the neutronium infused ME controller on GTNH. Fantastic, just a fantastic piece. I love this so much. Um, I can't remember if this was added in 2.7 or 2.8, but this is one of my favorite recent additions. This allows you to basically like completely delete all quartz fiber at a certain point. All right. Yeah, so this is NAC 5 and it's kind of a big mess and it's not running, but I'm wondering like it's only 1 million. I was gonna say, what's the passive loss on all of these LSCs running and doing nothing? 100 million maybe. Even if it's 200 million, that number basically just doesn't exist. We're in the E to the 21st regime, which I think that's quadrillions. But don't quote me on that. This was fun. Um, so HJM was doing some silly things over here. And then Sophie threatened um to put a core right in the middle of NAC 5 and press that button. I can't believe I can't believe I'm still getting trophies. Anyway, yeah, she threatened to put a core over here and press that button, which, and if anybody doesn't know, the core would basically be like a crater of about 200 radius. And so as a token of peace between friends, HJM built a full size neutronium tank and filled it with vodka. So yes, we have 2 billion millibuckets of vodka distilled and ready to be used by our favorite by our favorite resident college student who apparently doesn't drink, but this is still funny. Let's see what else is fun. I guess, since this has been kind of a tour of sorts, let's go to the overworld. I haven't been to the overworld in a while. Actually, actually, hold on. Let's go to the deep dark first. I had a build that I was working on out here in the deep dark, and let's show this really quickly. I have a funny feeling that this build is not going to get finished because I've lost all inspiration. But this was my deep dark build. This is where we had our void miners. These are the 2.7 version of void miners. So they still function in version 2.8, but if we upgrade minions to 2.9, these void miners would brick themselves. They would no longer work. So oh, I have to get back to that comment, Cat. I saw the other half of what you just posted. We'll get back to that in a minute. But yeah, we don't really technically need void miners anymore. Not that I like, everything is space mining at this point in time with the space elevators, but I'm leaving these running because I liked this build and it was fun. It was fun to challenge myself to make something monochrome in the deep dark and make it interesting. So it's nowhere near finished, but it had a number of neat features that were going to get built up over time from layer to layer. And this was meant to be a 3-layer. Like this is the second floor. These are my backup assembly lines when I needed something to get done and have nothing else in the way. I used these. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get back to this, honestly. Yeah, the deep dark has a number of interesting features. For anybody that hasn't been out here, I'll show off what one of these looks like. Yeah, it has a number of houses that look like this, and these houses are generally useless, but they have spawners inside. What? Spawners. The loot is useless. The spawners are useless. The pathways are useless. Yeah, I'm not going to take any damage. I've got infinity armor, so nothing is going to phase me. But one last thing before we go. Oh no, where am I going? I'm not going towards the taint. Which yes, there is a giant taint biome here in the deep dark. Believe it or not. Let's this is what the deep dark looks like naturally. Okay, so then now, let's go to the overworld for a minute. Haven't been out here in quite a while, honestly. The overworld was fun. Minions blew through. Like, this was the building for LV, and we quickly blew through that. We had to make an MV building. We made an HV building. And we made like 3 other buildings that didn't survive. We kind of tore them down. I don't know if they didn't like the architecture or whatever, but and I'm not sentimental. I'll tear down old stuff all day, but I do kind of like these old buildings. Very neat how they spelled MV out. That was very nice. HV miners for moon, please bring back. How quaint. How quaint. This is what the underneath side looked like. If you could imagine, this whole underneath side was an absolute rat's nest of cables, piping, machines, and just all sorts of craziness. And as you can see, most of it has gotten ripped out. Oh, hey, hello. Only 24 hours ago? Really? Okay. Good job, my guy. Yeah, you could just imagine what a rat's nest of cabling and piping that existed down here around all of the original farms. Which again, I guess since we're talking about old things, let's talk about some old people too. Let's put some respect on some people's names. Let's see. Last scene. Yeah, so again, yeah, Blade was on here for a hot minute. I like Blade. Hopefully we can collab again. He and I actually jumped over here from the Vanguard run, which was another giant community run, or like another giant collab run that was Vanguard was 11 out of 10 amazing until the day that it self-destructed. And it was just poof, gone. So Blade and I are from Vanguard. Christian, Buster, W2, they all kind of lasted the first couple days. Time was the original server host of this run. We are on dedicated hosting from HypeServe, who was or is a sponsor of Random Potato. Yeah, let's see. Hermit Forge. Hermit Forge went through and made um one one food of every kind for every minion. So um so Hermit went through and made 20 of every single food in the game that we had access to up to that point in time, and is an absolute legend. And it didn't get enough credit for what he did, honestly. Um because like I said, he went through and made 20 of every food. But if you go through these chests, you can see in some of these how, like, there's 16, there's 18. Like, maybe some of those you got from quests, so people didn't have to eat them. But still, like, the lowest number in here is like 10. So yeah, he made so many foods that ended up getting not necessarily discarded or disregarded, but his his throughput should have been a little bit more I don't know, celebrated is the right word, but look, I love having this many hearts. You see how many hearts I got? Hold on. Food list size. Oh, yeah, hold on. Get out of here, you nerd. Yeah, 55 bonus hearts. All right. Other old players that need a little bit of respect on their name. There's a couple off the top of my head. Lazy Blanket Cat was our applied energistics system before we got applied energistics. They are their singular focus to anal retentiveness uh, um, caused them to constantly sort the dump chest of a 20-person group for like 3 days straight, and was legendary. So, like, you're talking like Stone Age legends. Lazy is on that list. Lazy is definitely a Stone Age legend. Again, Hermit. I'll throw Hermit in the same bucket, even though the foods were a little bit after Stone Age. But yeah, Stone Age legend. Awea was our first farmer. Stone Age legend. Had all sorts of crops up and running on day one. A lot of the early building was done by Space and Nathan, I think, and also maybe Nigel. Namzi was huge until he left for his new run, which, believe it or not, I know he's not here right now, but Namzi is getting ready to gate as well in his run. I Horsham, that meteor mining setup was built in EV by iHorsham by hand, and that it's lasted up until this point in time in the game. Let me go back up here, because again, this was so much work. I feel like if there isn't that many streams left in this Minions series, I should I'm glad that I'm able to shout a few people out, especially here close to the end. They finished a few days ago. That's awesome. So yeah, iHorsham went through and made 50 excavation wand focuses with the upgrades, and also 50 void pickaxes with whatever, with the efficiency 50 on it. iHorsham did this in EV before we got to the PDEM. Like, he had this stuff done before we moved out here to the PDM, and like, again, legendary work. Even though he's not going to be in the picture for the Stargate. You know, we probably wouldn't have made it half as far if somebody hadn't done this. So Sophie and HJM, again, they get most of the credit. I think Sophie is still the MVP of this run, even though she's missed UXV entirely. I still think she's the MVP. I think HJM is pretty much caught up to her. Like, there's like 1A and 1B, if that makes sense. I'm in a close second tier. I've done a lot of cool things, but if this was me on my own, I probably would have puttered out at like ZPM, like right around when Waterline gets difficult. Like tier 3 Waterline is the first time that you actually have an actual a real infrastructure check. You have to know how to build this thing out the right way. And that's ZPM, I believe. But yeah, this is so cool. Like, I just it's cool to finally get to this stage of GTNH and be able to have like everything at the tip of my fingers, and I can print whatever I want. I just rip off, like you saw, like 20,000 DTPF casings, like just print. With that being said, I'm really looking forward to 2.9. I can't wait to start over. Like, there is something in 2.9 called the NAC. It's the nano complex or nano processor assembly complex or something like that. We're never going to have to spam AALs to make chips ever again. Like, the NAC at the end game is going to replace basically everything I've got out here. Like, this entire wall of machines is just to make like BioWare supercomputers and optical processors and like neuro components and bio components and stuff like that. These two elevators make optical components. Like, I've got dedicated space elevators running 24 space assembler module Mark IIIs just to make each of the two optical components, which are optically compatible memory and optically perfected CPU. So yeah, we're never gonna have to do this again. We're never gonna have to spam ALs again. We just make the NAC, or we make a series of NACs. I could see at the very end game you'd probably have like one NAC to every major circuit. The allegory that I can give to that is the tier 4 nano. So it's a lot of people say that you can get to end game with one tier 4 nano forge, which you can, but it takes forever. And I would prefer to make a tier 4 nano for each of the difficult ones. You think like Universium, Magmatter, Eternity, and maybe also one to do blacks and black dwarf matter and white dwarf matter nanites. Having one tier 4 is not cutting it at the very end of the game. So I'm wondering if the NAC in 2.9 is going to be a similar feel to, like, the NAC allows you to rip out a lot of your old componentry, but at the very end of the game, I feel like you're probably going to want to have like 4 or 5 or 6 NACs, kind of like I want to have 4 or 5 or 6 nano forges. So we're probably not going to build those out, but who knows? especially if I end up redoing all of the DTPFs and also ripping down all of HJMs and also reusing this space, it probably would be for more tier 4 nanos. But I don't necessarily want to rip down HJM's DTPF pile until well, first of all, I need to rebuild them and make sure that my idea works. And then second of all, I don't want to do that before he returns from his trip, wherever he may be going. And like I said, he's going to be gone for the rest of May, more or less. So yeah, so that's staying for an indeterminate amount of time into the future. We're just gonna find somewhere else to build 20 DTPFs. Which you know what? I'm tripping. Hold on a minute. Oh, I'm tripping. Yeah, I need to build more eternal coils. So that would be like 42,000 coils. What, I would order like 35,000 coils? No. I can order a lot, but not that many. Let's see. Does this have a hope of finishing today? It'll finish today. I meant like on stream. This might actually finish on stream. Yeah, like 35,000 eternal coils, you guys. Let's just hang out here for a few minutes. Because I do need to start wrapping it up. I've got a couple errands that I need to run this afternoon. I am gonna keep playing later tonight, but I'll be off stream. And then also, I do want to stream tomorrow. That's not a guarantee. It's not in the books. Don't write it in pen. But I'm going to do what I can. Move my little corner of heaven and earth to stream tomorrow. And if I do, it will be on the Rats Run. So I'll be able to show off Cat and Company's hard work. I'll show off a couple things that I did over there back in the day, and I'll show you all of their progress trying to beat minions to gate. Yep. Yeah, and again, again, I know I say it, and I know words can ring hollow, but I really love the Rats Run. All of those guys were cool as hell. I really liked the vibe on Rats. I really liked the some of the builds, some of what we were doing. We just honestly, at a certain point, Rats hit the same thing that Minions did. We were just going too fast in progress to build a super nice building for every single thing. Like Minions was always going to be doomed to outpace our scenery. I think Rats outpaced its scenery just a little bit, but Rats has a whole lot more really nice scenery than Minions does. There's some really cool builds over there. I always tease Arthur about his what did I call it the other day? I called it like Carpal Castle, because he was talking about never again. I'll never build something like that ever again. I probably got carpal tunnel from this build alone. And I'm like, yeah, I call it Carpal Castle. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that this craft was gonna get done quickly, but that's not gonna happen. Oh yeah, see that? Yeah, I see what's happening. So you can see how superconductor base CPM, base UV, molten bedrockium, all of those things are being gated in the single DTPF that is running off a batch of 2 billion 6-phased copper. And let me see if I can get up here and just point out the offender once again. Yeah. We're probably going to be in 6-phase copper jail for like 8 hours. Yeah, it's only down to 520k. When I started this stream, it was at 589k. For those copper singularities. So yeah, we're going to be in copper jail for many hours, and as you can see, this is the only place in the base that is also making this and this and this and this and of course these. I'm not making any dark matter right there, but as you can see, having dark matter on the same one as all of these superconductor bases in and of itself, that is also a really bad idea, because we're going to be having to make a lot of dark matter as well. So anyway, I'm going to have to split up these crafts so that we get a scenario where every craft has a chance to be the highest priority in at least one machine. And that's what I'm going to try to build for the DTPF array. But with that being said, I think that's it for me for right now. Let me go look to see if anybody else is live. While I'm looking, again, big shout out to Mr. Cat, who is one of the big dogs on the Rats Run, who we will see tomorrow with almost assuredly. Oh no. Oh no. Is anybody, wait, hold on. Is anybody playing GTNH? Russian. All right, so we've got 2 Russians. I'm just gonna say no to. Sorry, guys. We have TBM Striker, which I recognize the name. And then we've got Seth Dark, who's doing GTNH Hardcore. Yeah, I'm going to Striker. So yeah. Yep. Raid TBM. So, yeah, it's underscore Striker, right? Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Again, I have not been streaming regularly lately. Hopefully that changes, but I'm not going to hold my breath, because every time I say something, it goes the other way. So with that being said, I want to get a second stream in tomorrow, maybe to make up for lost time, and I will see you guys whenever I go live again, or whatever chat I end up having to or I end up finding you guys in, because we all kind of hang out in the same chats. Yeah, so see everybody around. And boop. Okay. Yep. Have a good afternoon, everybody.